Hi everyone, welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to discuss another security model, which is Clark-Wilson security model. So, Clark-Wilson security model is an integrity-based security model designed to prevent unauthorized modification of data by enforcing well-defined control mechanism. In our previous video, we have discussed about BIBA model. BIBA model is also an integrity model. Um, in the end of this video, I will let you know the big difference between these two models, Clark-Wilson and BIBA model. But now in this image, let's try to understand about Clark-Wilson security model. As you can see in this image, this is unconstrained data item. So that means these are unverified or untrusted data, right? And user can access it, can create or modify these data items freely, right? So without any issue, because this is a raw data, we can say. A user enters raw data into financial system, let's say. Employees submits an expense report, right? So, and here is transformation process. Any change to data must be done through a controlled transmission, through controlled transformation process. Any data, any change to data, any modification to data must be done through a controlled transformation process, right? The transfer the transformation process ensures that only valid operations are performed, right? Example, an automated accounting system checks the submitted expense report for errors. If there are any errors, it will report the error. So then the next step would be integration verification process. So the integrity of transformed data is verified before it is accepted. Here is accepted. This is the last step of this process, right? So first transformation process is performed, and then integration verification process is performed, right? Transformation process, change must be done through a controlled transformation process. The transformation process ensures only valid operations are performed, right? Here valid operations are performed. Once this process is completed, then integration verification process comes in a picture. Ensures that this process ensures that unauthorized or incorrect changes are detected. For example, a finance manager approves or verifies the process expense report before it is recorded. So then lastly, in this image, in this example, you can see constrained data items. So these are verified and trusted data items that cannot be modified directly by the user. So user cannot access them directly, right? User cannot make any change in constraint data. It should go through this process. Once this process is completed, then that data is accepted, and now it is constraint data item, and user is not allowed to modify it, right? Are not allowed to change it, that constraint data directly. User must go through this transformation process, right? And finalized financial record in company database cannot be changed manually. So once those records are financial records are finalized, in company database, they cannot be modified, they cannot be changed, right? So now let me wrap this up. Component, first component is here in this image is unconstrained data item, right? Raw data entered by user. A user enter, for instance, financial transaction data. Then the next step would be transformation process converts raw data into controlled and validated form. For instance, a financial system checks for errors. Then the last step would be integration verification process ensures performed data is correct. The data, ensures transformed data is correct. A manager verifies the final reports and provides the respective manager and provides his or her approval, right? And then lastly, this constrained data item, protected, trusted data that cannot be changed directly, approved financial record in database, right? That would be the final stage. So, where this Clark-Wilson model is used, financial systems prevents unauthorized modification for banking records. ERP, enterprise resource planning systems, ensures controlled access to business records. E-commerce transaction prevents fraud in online purchases. Medical record management ensures only authorized doctors can update patients' data. So user cannot directly modify critical data CDI, right? Constrained data item CDI. All changes must go through a verification and approval process. This ensures integrity, prevents fraud, and stops unauthorized data tampering. Now, the difference, as I said earlier, that in the end of this video, I will tell you the difference between BIBA model and the Clark-Wilson model. BIBA and Clark-Wilson are integrity model, but they have different approaches, right? BIBA model mainly prevents data corruption by restricting how data flows between integrity levels. Clark-Wilson model prevents unauthorized modification using controlled process, right? And um, as I said, BIBA model protects integrity using strict access rules, no read down, no read up. But Clark-Wilson model protects integrity using controlled data transformation and verification process. So BIBA is focused on preventing data corruption through strict access control. Clark-Wilson is focused on ensuring only controlled authorized modifications are made. BIBA is more general and theoretical, while Clark-Wilson is more practical for real-world application like banking and ERP system. So this is about Clark-Wilson model and the difference between BIBA and Clark-Wilson security model. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any question, please write in the comment section.